Stars. Stars and planets are formed from clouds made up of gas and dust that exist in space. These clouds, from which celestial bodies are created, occupy an important place in the universe. They do not have their own light like stars, which makes them difficult to see. However, they can be observed when the gases inside them glow, when light from other stars is reflected on them, or when a light source passes in front of them. Stars send heat, light, and energy to their surroundings. There are very small stars, and there are others that are extremely large. Some stars are the size of the sun, which we consider a magnificent star, and there are stars much larger than the sun. Well, did you know that stars have specific lifespans? Yes, children, stars are not living beings, but like living creatures, they are born, live, and then die. As we mentioned before, stars form within clouds and then begin their lives. When the time of a great star comes to an end, it explodes in a tremendous explosion and scatters into deep space. From the fragments of this scattered star, new stars and planets are formed. The Sun and the planets within the solar system, including our Earth, were formed in ancient times following the explosion of a star. Now let us look at the solar system and see what we can learn about it. The solar system. The solar system consists of the Sun and 9 planets. These planets are accompanied by 61 moons, and in the spaces between them there are many comets and meteors. The Sun is the largest of these celestial bodies and represents the heart of the solar system. The 9 planets that form part of the solar system rotate around themselves and at the same time around the Sun in an orderly manner. The names of the planets starting from the closest to the Sun to the farthest are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. As you can see, Earth ranks 3rd in distance from the Sun. Each planet in the solar system has its own unique characteristics. Some are extremely hot, so hot that they can melt lead, while others are completely frozen. Some planets consist only of gases, and others are as small as the moon. There is great harmony between moons and planets. Planets attract their moons, and the moons in turn balance that attraction. Without this balance, the moons would either crash into the planets or drift away and be lost in space. For example, if the moon were orbiting more slowly, it would collide with Earth at tremendous speed, which would certainly mean the end of Earth. And if it were orbiting faster, it would move away from Earth and we would lose the moon. Let us continue our journey with the Sun, the heart of the solar system, and reflect on it more deeply. The Sun. The Sun is the largest celestial body in the solar system. It is extremely hot and is composed of burning gases. For this reason, enormous explosions occur on its surface every second, equivalent to the explosion of millions of atomic bombs. In these explosions, flames extend to distances 40 to 50 times the size of the Earth we live on. The Sun, which resembles a blazing ball, sends out intense heat and light. If the Sun did not exist, all time would be night, and everything would be frozen masses of ice. Most importantly, as we mentioned before, life on Earth would not exist, and therefore we would not exist. It is known that space is dark. You remember this from space films, and our Earth is just a body in the middle of this vast darkness. There is no other body in space besides the Sun that can send heat and light to our Earth. The light emitted by the Sun is very bright, and you have tried looking at the Sun on a clear day. Remember how after just a few seconds your eyes could not bear it? In fact, looking at the Sun is very dangerous because of this intense light. It can damage our eyes, and staying under the summer sun can cause serious harm. These rays can even leave real burns and skin inflammations that require long treatment. The sunlight, especially in summer, is extremely strong, yet the Sun is millions of kilometers away from Earth, and only about 2/1000ths of its light reaches us. So, if the Sun is this far away, and its heat on Earth is already so strong, what must be the temperature on the surface of the Sun? Scientists give approximate figures on this matter. However, the temperature on the surface of the sun cannot be compared with any temperature we know on Earth. Think carefully. The temperature on the surface of the sun reaches about 6,000 degrees, while inside it rises to around 12 million degrees. Can we compare this heat with anything else? We cannot even tolerate water at 50 degrees. Even the hottest summer days reach only 40 to 50 degrees. From this, we understand that God Almighty placed the distance between Earth and the sun in perfect balance. If the sun were a little closer, everything on Earth would burn and be destroyed, and if it were a little farther, everything would freeze. In both cases, life would be impossible. In fact, we see something similar in the polar regions, which receive little heat and remain permanently frozen, and in the equatorial regions, which receive intense heat and remain very hot. God has made these regions as examples for us. As for the other regions, He created them in a way perfectly suited for the life of living beings. This is part of His mercy toward His creation. If He had not set the distance between the sun and Earth as it is, life on Earth would have been extremely difficult, or even impossible. As we explained earlier, God created the sun and moon in a way that provides comfortable life on Earth. One of the verses of the Holy Quran states that the sun and moon move by the command of God. Allah is He who raised the heavens without pillars that you can see. Then He established Himself upon the throne and subjected the sun and the moon. Each runs for an appointed term. He manages the affair and explains the signs so that you may be certain of meeting your Lord. Surat Al-Ra'd, verse 2.